Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about what is biological classification. So since the dawn of classification, so many people try to attempt to classify the living organism. But this classification was not scientific or not having any type of scientific criteria. We classify the organism on the basis of our need and our own use. For example, for food, shelter and clothing. Aristotle, he was the first who tried to attempt a more scientific basis of classification. He used simple morphological characters to classify plant into tree, shrub and herbs. Just like plant, he also divided the animals into two groups. So those which had red blood and those that did not. So he divided the plant into three groups, tree, shrubs and herb, and he divided the animals into two groups. So first, those having the red blood and those that did not. In Linnaeus' time, the two kingdom classification was developed in which Plantae and Animalia. It was the two kingdom and it include all the plants and animal respectively. Now this system was using till very recently. Now classification of organism on the basis of plant and animal, it was very easily done and it was very easy to understand also. But in spite this, lots of animals was not put in either category. That means lots of animals was not placed or not getting any place in either category. So this type of classification in which lots of animals are not getting any place in the both kingdom, that is why this was found inadequate. And after that we need to include more basic gross morphological characters just like cell structure, nature of wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, method of reproduction, evolutionary relationship, etc. So these type of characters can be used for the better classification, and that is why the previous two kingdom classification was not too much useful. We found it is inadequate. Now, so many of changes have been done in the classification system, but still we are using the Plantae and Animalia kingdom. Means these two kingdom are still constant. Although the understanding that what type of animal we have to put in these two groups, it is still changing. And over a time, lots of scientists also try to understand that there is a need of different type of groups in which we can put other animals. Now there was a scientist named R.H. Whitaker. So in 1969 he proposed a five kingdom classification and he named the five kingdom classification as Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So the main characteristic or the main criteria of this classification was including the cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationship. So in this table, we can understand the different characters of five kingdom classification. So in this, we are taking the characters like cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, and mode of nutrition. So in this we can see Monera is having the prokaryotic, it is prokaryotic, Protista it is eukaryotic, fungi it is eukaryotic, Plantae and Animalia are also eukaryotic. If we talk about the cell wall, then Monera it is non-cellular and it is made up of polysaccharide and amino acid. In Protista, some of the protist contains the cell wall, some of them it is absent. In fungi, it is present without cellulose. In Plantae, it is made up of cellulose, and in Animalia, cell wall is totally absent. When we talk about the nuclear membrane, so in Monera it is absent, in Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia it is present. When we talk about the body organization, then in Monera it is cellular, Protista is also cellular, fungi it is multicellular or either it will be loose tissue. In Plantae, it is tissue or organ. In Animalia, it is having either tissue, organ, or organ system level. Now, mode of nutrition. So, in Monera, they are autotrophs or maybe chemotroph synthetic and photosynthetic, and some of them are heterotrophic like saprophyte and parasite. In Protista, they are autotrophic, photosynthetic, and heterotrophic. In fungi, they are heterotrophic, saprophyte, or parasite. In Plantae, they are totally autotrophic and photosynthetic. In Animalia, they are heterotrophic and holozoic or saprophytic. So these are the different characteristics of five kingdom classification. Now, why we leave the two kingdom classification and we are following the five kingdom classification? Let's see. So, in early classification, the bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, fern, gymnosperm, and angiosperm are all included in a single group. And the character that we are using to put all these organisms in a single group was just the cell wall. That means just on the basis of cell wall, we are putting all these organisms which was widely in different characters in a single group, Plantae. And due to this, we brought together the prokaryotic bacteria and the blue-green algae with other groups which was eukaryotic. That means we are putting both prokaryotic and eukaryotic in the same group. And it also grouped together the unicellular organism and the multicellular one. For example, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra was placed together under algae, though they are very much different in nature. Now, this classification also did not differentiate between the heterotrophic group fungi and the autotrophic green plant group, though their cell wall composition is also very much different. In fungi, it is made up of chitin, and in Plantae, it is made up of cellulose. And after that, also they are putting in the same group. Now, when we considered these type of characters, then we made a different group for the fungi, the kingdom fungi. All prokaryotic organism was grouped together under kingdom Monera, and all the unicellular eukaryotic organism were placed in kingdom Protista. Now, kingdom Protista has brought together the Chlamydomonas, chlorella, which was early placed in the algae within Plantae and both having the cell wall, with Paramecium and Amoeba, which were earlier placed in the Animalia kingdom, which lack it. That means, due to making of these two groups, we are now able to separate them, the organism which was prokaryotic and which is eukaryotic, and the organism that having the cell wall and that do not. By using the five kingdom classification, now we are putting together organism which was in earlier classification was placed in a different kingdom. And this is because now the criteria of the classification is changed. Now this kind of change will take place in the future too, depending on the improvement of our understanding of characteristic and evolutionary relationship. So when we will observe the different type of characteristic and if we will observe the evolutionary relationship, then the criteria of this type of classification will also improve or it will also change. Over a time, attempt has been made to evolve the classification system which reflects not only the morphological, physiological and reproductive similarities, but it is also phylogenetic, that is the basis of evolutionary relationship. That means we are considering or we are concentrate on the evolutionary relationship also. So that is why the classification system will also change in the future.